Welcome, everyone. I'm Kimberly Boscheman, and this is the Intentionally Intuitive podcast. We're coming off one eclipse, and we're jumping right back onto another. So we've got an eclipse coming up on October 2nd or 3rd, depending on where you live in the world. That's a solar eclipse. So we're going to take a look at the energies and how this could present for each life path in this reading. This, of course, is a general forecast. If you would like your own personal numerology forecast or readings, please book some time with me. My information is in the description box below. Also, if you were to book a year ahead forecast, any reading that has the year ahead forecast in it, then you will get the rest of 2024 as well as all of 2025 in your forecast and in your PDF. So if you're interested in that, head on over to my website and book some time with me so you can take advantage of that discount. One thing I do want to mention about this eclipse is that it is an eclipse. So whatever unfolds at this time will be the beginning of a storyline that will continue to unfold and be progressive over the next 6 months or so. So just kind of keep that in mind as we move through the reading, that these energies may not all come in at once. It might be something of a storyline that continues to unfold as you move forward in the coming months. So without further ado, let's take a look. Life path number 2, you're going to be working with the vibrations of the 4 and the 5 for this eclipse. So this is really interesting energy because you could not have more polar opposite type of energy that you're going to be working with. You have the 4, which requires some kind of commitment, strategy, method, or some kind of organization, right? Where you've got like a steadfast plan of how you're going to achieve your goals. And you need to commit to that. You need to be persistent and patient. Patience is key when we're working with 4 energy. It's a very slow, refined type of energy. So it forces us to take our time, to do things step by step, to be very methodical, to not rush the process, but to make sure that what we're building is solid and we're building a strong foundation to build something sustainable, right? For the long term. This can also be about gaining some kind of wisdom with the 4 energy, right? And what are you going to do with that wisdom? How are you going to share that wisdom with others? This could come into focus for you all over the next 6 months of some ideas that you might come to you in how to share your gifts with that wisdom for the greater good in some way. But usually when we move through some kind of 4 cycle, it slows everything down because it wants us to take our time. There's no rushing, things that are meant to be sustainable. There's no rushing the finer things in life. They take time. And that's a beautiful notion, but it can be incredibly frustrating. So frustration can kind of bubble to the surface a lot over the next 6 months. And you just have to kind of get on top of it to where you don't let the frustration take over. Because that frustration for things not moving too quickly, for having to put in a tremendous amount more effort, to feeling like there's a lot of challenges before you or a lot of tests, if you let that frustration take over, it will be like stepping into quicksand. And that will be the quickest killer of your joy that ever there was. So you've got to stay on top of your frustration. When you start to feel frustrated because you're not seeing the instant gratification, you're not seeing the results that you want to see immediately, et cetera, you need to find a way to take some kind of an action to funnel or channel that frustration into something constructive. Otherwise, it's going to be incredibly destructive. So you want to make sure that you tackle it as it presents, get to the root of it. And, sometimes when things slow down, and I would say usually when things slow down, it's because we're meant to pay attention to the finer details. So if we're rushing through something, we're missing those finer details. And the 4 knows this and helps us to slow down so we don't miss the details, so we can take our time and do it right the first time. So we don't have to go back and clean it up. The 5, on the other hand, is the complete opposite. It's the polar opposite of the 4. It's fast moving. It wants its freedom. It's like, I'm going to throw the spaghetti at the wall and see what sticks. And that's what I'm going to go with. It's like this kind of energy of fly by the seat of your pants. Go do things on a whim, very spontaneous, little need for organization. It kind of thrives on the chaos a little bit. And it likes its independence, autonomy, and again, that sense of freedom. And it likes to see quick results. The 5 energy is about expressing yourself to the fullest and experiencing life to the fullest with all of your senses. And so when the 4 comes in, it kind of like puts these restrictions on the 5, and the 5 doesn't like restrictions. So it can feel like this tug of war within you the next 6 months that you kind of need to find your balance with. You're meant to express yourself the way that feels right and good. And, you're meant to maintain that autonomy and that independence while also being interdependent, and while also, taking your time and committing and not being combustible where you exert all of your energy in one fell swoop. It doesn't work out, so you give up on it. You're going to have to find ways to express yourself in a way that feels, enriching and freeing, but you're going to have to do it in a way where you're pacing yourself and you understand that this is a period that will require a lot more effort than what you might be used to. So instead of giving up too quickly, find ways to honor both sides of these energies, right? Still experience life with all your senses, still, go big or go home, still find that freedom and that, those ways to express yourself in a way that feels good, but do it with a method, do it with a strategy, and commit to it and see it through to completion. And you will see the success of that. You will see the success once things come to fruition. So hope it's a great one. Take care. Bye for now.